Yeah, so Delilah stood up and was like looking in the window. So I was like, oh my gosh, is she seeing her reflection? So I got up. It's Fred. He had to push open the sunroom door. He never comes out here because like he gets scared of Delilah, even though like she never does any harm to him. But he's a scaredy cat. So I am shook that Fred is right there.
Hey guys, happy Vlogtober day 16. So I do think this is going to be a bit of a shorter vlog because we do go back to having an early baseball game today, which I do not understand why we, as in the Dodgers, have the early game this day of play because, okay, so the game is in LA, so it's starting at like 3, I don't remember, it was 3 or 3:30 LA time. They are playing Milwaukee, which is a city in the central time zone. Okay, so that game will be at 5 or 5:30 for them. Next, okay, so that's one game. So the late game today is Toronto in Seattle. So Toronto is in East Coast time when Seattle's in West Coast time. So what I'm saying is it would be more beneficial if the Toronto game was the earlier game because those people are on the East Coast, so therefore they're going to have to stay up later, when a Milwaukee game should be the late game because Milwaukee's in a later time zone than Toronto. I know that all sounds very confusing, but I think the early game should be the Toronto-Seattle game because they have an East Coast team when the other series does not have an East Coast team because it is Milwaukee and LA. Okay, so since that game is, I'm gonna add in one little feature in this video that I typically don't do on YouTube. It's something that I typically do on TikTok, which is opening my packages. I have 3 packages. I think only one is clothing and one is medicine, and the other is my Amazon package of like subscriptions that I have on Amazon. So some of it's vitamins, dishwasher, that kind of stuff. I mean, boring stuff, but if you want recommendations, I think these are great. But we are going to start with my mystical morning. Now, I did have a dream last night. I had another turtle dream. Okay, so I was basically on the run with a group of people. There were people that I know, and I was on the run because I like witnessed this crime that somebody had been wrongly accused of. Now, none of that happened in real life. I haven't witnessed a crime, but this guy was accused of this, and it's like I had feelings for this guy in the dream. In real life, it's complicated. No, I've never met this person. It's a celebrity. He got accused of this crime, but he didn't do it. So I go on the run, and I had only told one person about this island that is like off the coast, not course, of Georgia, and it is where these like turtles are, and it's the only place in the world where they are. Again, this is not nonfiction, this is fiction. So we get there, and there's like this really like bougie resort, kind of like I don't know actually. So it was just like this very fancy resort, and there is like an infinity pool, and then beside that is like, you know, a grassy area with palm trees, and that's where the turtles are. So we are trying to get to these turtles because they can solve the problem. It's a dream. But these orca whales jump out, and it's like for real name Shamu, like it was Shamu, jump into the infinity, did I say Xfinity? I meant infinity pool, and are like blocking the turtles off from the humans. So that was all my dream. So we will look up, I mean, I doubt orcas are in this little book thing, but we will look. Orcas are not in here. Oh my gosh, why are orgies in here? Okay, so we're going to look up whales. A whale, the feeling of being swallowed up by a task that needs to be completed, like Jonah in the Bible, who was swallowed up by the whale, also a symbol of endangered species in the world. So I can't think of any task that I'm really needing to complete today other than, you know, just the ordinary stuff that I do in a day. Yeah, well, I need to bring the plants inside. That was another thing I meant to tell you. So I'm just bringing one in every time I go out because we are going to be getting into the 40s tonight. This is the first day of the season that it's going to get into the 40s. Yeah, it actually feels like fall here today. And that is the day of the year that I bring my plants inside, because I mean, it might say the low is 48, but you know, we never really know until it happens. So I'm like, what if it does go below? Which I know 48 is way above freezing, but still, that is the day. Today is the day I bring my plants inside. So we did the well dream. Okay, so a turtle or a tortoise, there were tortoises in my dreams, but it means hiding behind a character trait according to Willem Reich. Patience, wisdom, or hiding something essential. So hiding and being swallowed. Who knows, but let's do our tarot reading. I'm just gonna back up a little bit so I have more room to do this. Okay, I always forget which way because I don't want to see any of the cards before I pull them out. So what do I need to know about my feelings today? This will be our feeling card. What do I need to know about my health today? Health card. What do I need to know about my thoughts today? Thoughts card. So let me put these to the side so we don't get confused by all the cards. Oh, I'm trying to think of the cards that we had yesterday and how did they apply to life. How was I a leader yesterday? I don't know, but we had to make decisions because the mosquitoes yesterday were crazy, but y'all would know that if you watched yesterday's live. So our feelings today is the 6 of challenges reversed. Ooh, she looks, yeah. So she is up a tree. There are wolves below her trying to eat her. I think she looks very stressed, but we have it in reverse. So I actually don't know what this card means. This might be my first time ever drawing this card. So here it is again. So this is the 6 of Swords reversed. I'm going to do some research to find out what this card means. Here is what the 6 of Swords or the 6 of Challenges reversed means. And I have drawn this card before, but never in the reverse. It means cannot move on or carrying baggage. We're going to have to see what part of my life this applies to. I'm not sure where it's going to go or not. But it seems like I'm going to be stuck on something. There's something holding me down. I mean, look, she's stuck in a tree. So let's see our card for health. So before I get into it, I thought I was going to have a migraine today because last night I had a headache and I looked at my calendar that I keep of whatever health things, like if I'm tired, what kind of mood I'm in that day, if I had any pain that day, was I nauseous that day, did I have heartburn that day, that kind of thing. So I have an app where you can keep track of symptoms. So this is very helpful, like for migraines, if you have migraines, but I mean, that's not why I started using the app. But I did see that 2 months ago on yesterday, I did have a headache and I looked at it. It might have actually been 3 months ago, but then I looked at it. No, I think it was 2 months ago. Okay, moving on from that. So I go and I look out. I was like, okay, what will today look like based on that day 2 or 3 months ago? And it was like vomiting, migraine. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that day. Yeah, I threw up in public. Like I felt nauseous in public and I ran back to the car and was like, yeah, I'm gonna be sick. And that's what happened. But okay, so I was like, oh no, does that mean that same thing's gonna happen tomorrow? I feel fine right now. But yeah, I was gonna order McDonald's because McDonald's cures migraines for me. That helps me some, is the salt and the caffeine. Some people say the sugar, but I get a Diet Coke, so my drink doesn't have sugar in it, but that helps some people, and it usually does work for me. So I was gonna order some of that. I put it in my cart last night. I was like, I'll order it for lunch tomorrow. So I go onto the app and well, this morning I woke up feeling fine. I was kind of nauseous, but once I ate, you know, I was good. But I go to the app this morning, was saying I need an entry code, and I was like, well, I don't live in an apartment. Why do they need an entry code? Like, there's nothing around me that would need a code for a driver to get to me, because it was like to make your driver get there quicker. And I'm like, why would they need a code to get there quicker? Like, it's how they drive the cars, how fast they get here, you know? So that kept coming up, and then it was saying McDonald's was closed. It was saying they open at 5:30, and I was like, no, that's not how McDonald's works. McDonald's, you know, does breakfast and everything. So I was like, okay, maybe they're just not serving lunch yet, because it was 10:55 when I was gonna place the order. So I go and I wait for 11, because I was like, okay, maybe 11 is when they officially start doing lunch, and still wouldn't let me. So I go and I message DoorDash's customer service. I haven't heard back from them yet, but then I went and I looked. Sorry about the dog barking. I looked and it's working now, but like I went and had my own, I said leftovers for lunch. So that was that. But that's just to say, I thought I was gonna have a migraine today, but let's see. The frog, the ace of boons. So I forget what ace is, but boons is pentacles. What was ace? I forget what ace is, but let me see what this card means. I am so sorry that my mind just blanks. So an ace is the ace of pentacles, like duh. But what does this card mean? Lost opportunity, lack of planning, and foresight. So I do think this can go into where I thought I was gonna have a migraine, but it didn't end up happening, which is a blessing, knock on wood. So I think that was our lost opportunity or lack of planning. So I think that's that. Now, what are my thoughts today? Another reverse. They're all reversed today. This is the Enchanter. And so we have our man with the beard. You have to have them in fantasy. He's doing some magic, and there is an owl up there behind him. Right up there with magic. So he is looking like a wizard, but I do not know what this translates to in a traditional, but Enchanter, it's the one card. It translates to the magician, which obviously makes sense, but in the reverse this means manipulation, poor planning, latent talents. This is like our second one with poor planning, because we talked about the lost opportunity, lack of planning, and foresight. So maybe my plans aren't going too well today with how I'm doing things. That's what it seems like. But here are all of our cards that we drew today. All are in the reverse. So I'm just going to go write down like, or type up these notes of what cards I drew today. And then I'm going to go get our packages for us to open together. I am back with our packages. So we're going to start with the second-hand one. This one's coming to us from eBay, from Stacy in Oswego, Illinois. I don't know where that is. I know where Illinois is. I don't know where Oswego is. Let's see if I can get it open without the box opener. Yeah, I have two eBay packages sitting around, so I'm not sure which one this is going to be. It says, thank you for supporting our small business. Cute. And okay, this is one that I got last week, I think. This is definitely a top, more so for the summer. I'm not a huge fan of the material. It's like, I want to say like a golf shirt almost. So this is a size small, and it's that kind of cotton by Liz Claiborne. I don't know how I feel about that kind of cotton. So, I mean, this is secondhand, so I'm going to put it in the wash, because sometimes once you put something in the wash, and then when you get it back, you're like, okay, that's how it feels. So, would y'all put this in the darks or the lights? I think I'm going to put in the darks, but let me know. Do y'all think I should put this in the darks or the lights in the wash? Because that's still something I'm new to. Yeah, that's a whole other can of worms that we're not going to get into. So our next one is my gum disease medicine, because I used to have an Amazon subscription, but then they stopped selling it on Amazon. So I had to go through their website, because then, so I ran out, and I had some, because again, I had a subscription, so I had way more than I needed, but so I poured it out into the spoon, because you have to do a certain spoonful, and I was like, oh, that's very like liquid, yeah, it was very watery. I was like, I've never seen that texture, and sure enough, it was expired. So hopefully this is not expired. This comes from Lancaster, New Hampshire. Again, don't know where that is. I've never been to New Hampshire. I've not really been, I haven't been to New England. I've been to like Connecticut, Rhode Island. I drove through those going to Boston. Oh my gosh, I saw this joke before. Somebody was like, why do these songs say Boston in them? And they were like, that is the white people Atlanta. I just think that's so funny. Okay, this is glass, so I understand, but I hate disposing of those things. I don't know if they're recyclable or not. That's why I'm like... But okay, yeah, this is the Dental Herb Company. So this was recommended to me. My dentist was the first one to give me this kind of medicine, so I've just been getting it ever since. But they've refreshed their labels, but yeah, they do all this, all that kind of stuff. I'm not sponsored again. I legit got this from my dentist. So okay, check the expiration. Oh, good. We have 2 years to use this, even though I'm legit going to be using this tonight. But Under the Gum Irrigant, yes, this truly is amazing. So shout out to the dentist. I don't know if this stuff needs to be recycled. I would think that packing peanuts can be recycled, but I need to look that up because I do not know. But we're going to take the rubber band out because I always need rubber bands and can never find any. So then we have our big Amazon one, Thursday Night Football. It is Thursday. It's the Bengals and the Steelers. I like players on both teams. I would probably have the Steelers win this game, to be honest. I mean, I think they have a better coaching staff and everything. And I mean, you have a veteran quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. I know he's in his 40s, but going against a backup QB in Jake or Jock Browning, I'm choosing the Packers, or not the Packers, the Steelers, sorry. So here's my Cascade pods. This is going to be the last one for a while because, again, I have so many of these because Amazon subscriptions, I never realized how long they go. But okay, if you are a woman, I recommend these. These are the Urinary Tract Support by Happy. They're vitamins, but I'm not a doctor, so talk to your doctor before getting these. Another one that I do recommend, but again, talk to your doctor. This is a vitamin. This is Mary Ruth's Vegan Chlorophyll Liquid Drops. Yeah, to get the chlorophyll, because I'm not a leafy, I don't like leafy vegetables, or I guess they're vegetables, they're not for me. So this is where I get that. And then we have peppermint spray, which also, since it's hitting the 40s tonight, we will be spraying. This is rodent repellent, effective plant-based, safe around people and pets, indoor and outdoor use. So we haven't had any rodents inside. I've seen them outside on the cameras, but they every time I see them, I go and I spray that, and I haven't seen them in like a month. So we're going to be spraying that. But yes, I need to go take out the recyclables now and look up, can these guys be recycled? They're so fun to play with. Like, these are great fidget toys, but Fred, he tries to eat them, and I'm like, no, young man, that's not to eat. But I'm going to be reading at 3 o'clock outside because it's super nice out, and that's when I will see y'all next. I read 30 pages in our share of night. I had to split up the reading time, so I ordered Chick-fil-A delivery. So when I had ordered on Monday, it took them 59 minutes from when I placed my order for it to be at my door. Today, it literally took like 12 minutes. So, because, you know, I ordered knowing that it could take a while, and I was like, oh, I had like one more sprint of reading. So I ate and then read those last 10 pages that I wanted to get in. So I read 30 pages in here. That's about half of what I would typically read. And technically, I think I could read in the 5 o'clock hour and probably get that other half in. But I don't feel like doing that. So I already logged in my thoughts. But I do have 3 notes for y'all. So these themes are kind of interconnected, but one of the big themes of the story is commitment and inheritance. And I think we talked about before love versus duty. I think that the themes I just said kind of go in with love versus duty as well, because sometimes you inherit something, it's like, is that really what you want out of your life? But you have this commitment to your family, to everything you've known. There's that, and then there's like, but is that really right? Is that what you want to do with your life? So how I would rate this book so far, So 10 divided by 3, whatever you want to say that is. Because the first part where we had Juan and Jasper kind of like on the run, road trip kind of story with all these scary magical elements. And like not scary, but it's like you're on the edge of your seat because you don't know what's going to happen. I loved that. That was a 4. And then when we have Jasper and Buenos Aires going about his day-to-day life, that was a 3. It was fine. And now we're seeing like this backstory in the 1960s that is also given the 3-star vibes. But I do think this would be like, I do see why people would enjoy this. I really get Netflix show vibes from this. I know I'm usually like an HBO person, but this is given Netflix. I could see this, but I feel like it would be so hard to adapt, confusing with the timelines and everything, and just there's a lot here. There's a lot of depth to this story, so it would be really intriguing to see how they would go about adapting it. Now, I have no idea if anybody has the rights to this to make an adaptation. I don't know. That's something I usually look up after I finish the book, and I will look it up after I finish the book, unless y'all tell me in the comments, because like that's fine. I don't really care if y'all tell me in the comments or not. I don't consider that a spoiler. I'm just saying, with this thought that I do not know if anybody plans on making an adaptation of this, but I could definitely see it being one and being popular with the magic elements and everything. But that is all for the day of reading. I hope you guys enjoyed. We've only read 30 pages today. 30. I do plan to read during the baseball game and to read in 1984 as well, but I am going to be ending the vlog here. If you made it all the way through, leave a nighttime emoji in the comments below, and as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified when all my videos go live. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!